Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another blind commentary. And yes, Magpiepony has graced us with yet another new Pinkie Tales, this time Raripunzel, and I'm pretty hyped. It's really about time that one of these has starred Rarity, and kind of feels long overdue. So that's pretty awesome. Less awesome is the fact that going by the thumbnail for this video, this is going to be a Rarejack thing, and that's pretty disappointing to me. Because, I mean, it being Raripunzel, if there was going to be any sort of influence from Tangled, it could have so easily been a Raredash thing instead, but no, instead we got the more popular but far inferior ship, and I guess that's just how these things go. But that's not going to ruin the video, and in fact I'm kind of glad that I get this out of the way first, that I'm not going to be disappointed during the video that it's not Rainbow Dash, because yeah, it'll just make the actual reaction better, I think. And even if it is Rarejack, I'm still expecting this will be a lot of fun, because these things always are. Magpiepony does a really good job of making these fun and silly and just absurd, and especially the last one. That was like the craziest one yet. The Egghead and the Beast, or whatever it was. That was just like complete silliness and a lot of fun. But yeah, hopefully this one is a lot of fun too. Let's get started and find out. Okay, and here we go. Tails.
Raripunzel.
I like the rarity hair there.
Tonight, Poundin' Pumpkin, we're going to visit the fashion capital of all the fairy tale world.
Okay.
And meet a pony who's having a particularly bad hair day.
This'll be fun.
Long ago, there was a young pony couple who lived in the heart of a large.
Oh, is that
glorious
Silverquill?
city. They were obsessed with
Sounds
the
like
glamour
it.
and fashion of high society ponies.
And that is quite the hat
life's
there.
goal to be counted amongst them.
That is
However,
impressively
the
loud.
couple failed to realize how costly this prestigious
So,
lifestyle would be.
jet set and
until it was
upper crust?
too late. They were broke. Worried that they would lose their status and social standing, the couple resorted to deceitful and underhanded methods to get what they wanted.
Always a good idea.
Which ultimately proved to be their undoing. One
Or
bright
not.
summer's day, Snooty and Snobby, the newly
Snooty
famous
and
pony
Snobby.
couple, stalked the
Okay.
city marketplace for something scrumptious to eat.
Fits
They
them
spied into
equally
cart
as
of wares
well.
with exotic-looking foods and trinkets. Snooty turned to Snobby and they smiled, simultaneously deciding to con the seller from her wares.
I say, Madam Shopkeeper, would you be so kind as to tell me
Doing the
what
voice
this
pretty well
remarkable
there.
piece here is?
Snooty said, attempting to distract the shopkeeper.
It is rather unlike anything I've ever seen before. You know, I hear that earthy goods are quite in this summer.
The shopkeeper approached Snooty
Oh.
and kept her face hidden under
Sakura?
a black cloak. Her piercing yellow eyes caught a glimpse of Snobby making her way towards the other side of the cart, while her magic levitated an expensive-looking bag beside her.
It is a charm from the place I was born.
Definitely
It
Sakura.
is said to bring luck whenever it is worn.
You don't
That's a
say.
character we haven't
That
seen in
is
forever.
rather fascinating. You know, my wife and I just returned from an exotic getaway vacation, and the decor was quite lovely. In fact, we ran into Tommy Hooviger while we were there, and
Wow.
offered him some fashion advice. He wanted to use this awful color scheme in his next collection of...
Darling, I believe we are going to be late for our next appointment. Remember, the auction simply cannot begin without our presence.
Snobby said, cutting off her husband and starting to walk away. The shopkeeper held out her hoof to stop her before she could get too far.
Whatever business you have, you can delay. For the goods in your bag, you still need to pay.
Without warning, the shopkeeper reached for Snobby's bag and lifted the flap, revealing exotic fruits that had been taken from her stall.
How did that get in there? You must have put it in there yourself so you could set us up.
This is an outrage. Do you know who we are?
The shopkeeper slowly pulled the hood of her cloak away, revealing her striped coat and mane.
You chose the
Oh.
wrong victim for your theft and your lies. For this time, it is
Yeah,
led
Sakura
to
can be kinda
endless
scary,
lies.
if she wants to
Since
be.
you are fond of the false stories you tell, I shall curse you with a tall tale spell. The foal you've conceived will be plagued by my hex. Whenever you lie, you will see the effects. Her tale will grow with every word spoken.
So these are going to be
The day
Rarity's
this curse
parents.
Can be broken. True hearts and true words
That's
will
different.
set the mare free, and only then can she be happy.
Snooty and Snobby looked at each other with wide eyes. They hadn't told a soul about Snobby's condition, and it was too early in the pregnancy for others to notice.
Who are you?
I'm an evil enchantress who does evil dances, and when you look into my eyes, I will put you in trances.
Okay, Pinkie, that's not funny.
What? Oh, come on! It's too perfect!
It is kind of funny.
Why won't you let me have this?
Because Zakura isn't evil. Every pony knows that.
You must be new to the whole Pinkie Tales thing, huh? Of course she isn't evil! This is what I call a joke. See, 'cause it's funny? You have to stop analyzing everything. Get it? That's a joke too, 'cause you're a pony-type creature thing who analyzes stuff.
Yeah.
A hippogriff.
So definitely
I've
Silver
never
Quill.
seen the Griffopotamus before.
Wow.
I'm not a... How have you never seen a hippogriff before, Pinkie?
Well, there aren't any in Ponyville. And I had a really bad experience with an OC not so long ago. So I tend to avoid the internet now.
Uh-huh. Let's just...
Bad
continue,
experience with an
shall
OC.
we? Snooty and Snobby were thoroughly frightened by Zakura's
Indeed you
words and
did.
fled, leaving the bag of goods behind. From a stall not so far away, a young seamstress smiled slyly. She had watched the exchange from afar, and once all was said and done, she began formulating a brilliant but sinister scheme. Months passed, and the zebra's curse was all but forgotten. That was, of course, until the day a beautiful baby unicorn girl was born, with a coat of white and an unusually long purple tail. It wasn't too long afterward that Snooty and Snobby had an unexpected visit from the very same seamstress.
So we got
Her name
Surrey.
was Glamour, an up-and-coming
Or
fashion
Glamour.
designer who had only begun to take the fashion world by storm. She knew her new stint in the limelight would impress
I would
the
like to
couple,
see her come
and
back
she
someday.
used that to her advantage. She appealed to the couple to give their daughter to her.
Aw, baby
claiming that
Rarity.
it would save them the embarrassment they would face when the world discovered their secret. In return, she would use the money from her recent fashion line to pay their debts and pad their accounts so that they could live the life they always wanted. She claimed to be a lonely mare who sought nothing more than the love of a foal. However, as she spoke, the curse began working its spell over the infant's tail, causing it to grow with every lie she uttered. Snooty and Snobby realized they could never live the life they wanted and would be reduced to shame by raising such a filly. So they consented, trading away their daughter for gold. Years passed and the cursed filly was all but forgotten. She seemed to vanish from sight and from mind as she was never seen in public. However, over the years, Glamour's popularity and success continued to climb. Eventually, she was considered the most influential fashion pony in all the land, due mostly to the unique fabric she used in most of her designs. It was unlike any fabric that ponies had seen or felt before. Like silk, it was smooth and soft, but it was strong like cotton. Though they tried, no other pony could duplicate the material for their own clothing line. Glamour kept its origins highly secret, even from her own staff.
Rarity hair.
Glamour's fashions had reached every corner of Equestria, including the royal palace. Her designs were the princess's most favorite clothing, and she became Glamour's most dedicated customer. One afternoon, Princess Orchard Blossom made her journey once again from the palace to Glamour's boutique in search of a new gown.
Princess
She wore
Orchard
Glamour's
Blossom.
newest design, which just so happened to be a bright green dress with red and white stripes along the large puffed outer skirt. The dress blended perfectly with her deep crimson coat and the light blonde mass of hair that made up her mane, towering over her like a headdress. Her younger brother, Prince Jack, had begrudgingly followed after her when Blossom insisted that he too attain proper attire. He was accustomed to wearing nothing but his iconic brown hat, but after some convincing, he too dressed up for the occasion wearing a simple green tunic, brown slacks, and black boots. It too complemented his straw yellow mane and light orange coat, though much to his sister's dismay, it was not the latest fashion design made by Glamour.
Ooh, you will look so lovely in a proper suit. I wonder if I can get Glamour to recommend a stylist for you.
Huh, I'm the princess time.
Pretty good Orchard Blossom voice.
What's that?
Nothing. I've never really been one for fancy clothes and things like that, big Orchard Blossom. You know that.
I'll never understand your aversion to fashion, dearest brother. Especially when you insist on wearing that atrocious, brown, frumpy-looking thing on your head.
Did you just call my hat frumpy?
If you could even call it a hat. It's so drab, Jackie. It's like you want to embarrass me.
Prince Jack stopped dead in his tracks.
What did you just call me?
Glamour! Your princess has arrived.
Princess Orchard Blossom called, ignoring her brother's question and racing towards her fashion idol. Prince Jack sighed and resolved to join her when he caught a faint but familiar scent. He turned his head in the direction of the forest nearby and saw a lovely grove of apple trees. He looked from the trees back to his sister,
Gotta be
who was too
apples.
enthralled in her fashion to pay him any notice. Rather than join her, he stole away towards the trees, licking his lips. Without hesitation, Prince Jack plucked the bark of an apple tree, and a single apple fell from the branches above. It hit the ground and rolled away from him, disappearing out of sight in the midst of long-growing vines.
Where'd it go?
Prince Jack asked, pulling the vines aside, revealing a not-so-secret entrance to an open meadow, occupied only by a single giant tower.
Huh. Well, that's definitely not something you see every day.
He circled the tower, looking for an entrance, but found none. Even so, Prince Jack's curiosity got the better of him, so he used the misshapen bricks of the tower to begin an ascent to the top.
Whew. And here I thought climbing a beanstalk was strange. Why am I talking to myself?
Prince Jack asked, then paused when he heard the unmistakable sound of some pony humming and the whirring of some kind of machine. As he climbed higher, the humming grew louder, until at last he reached the pony-sized window. Just as Prince Jack's two front hooves reached the windowsill, his back leg slipped, causing him to shout in surprise
some animation
from the windowsill.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Stay back. I have a series of sharp pins and I know how to use them.
Not to be rude or anything, but I don't think I can move right now, even if I wanted to. So, I'm pretty sure you're safe.
Well then, what is it you want, And how did you find me?
Do y'all mind interrogating me inside the tower, please?
The mare inside trotted lightly over to the prince and stuck her head out the window to examine her unwanted guest.
Oh my, you really are stuck, aren't you? Well then, maybe this will teach you not to go poking your nose into other ponies' business,
If y'all could throw me a rope or something, I'm pretty sure I could pull myself up.
Oh, all right. Just give me a second.
The mare said, disappearing from the window for a moment before tossing down what appeared to be a purple rope. Prince Jack wrapped the strange rope around his hoof and let go of the windowsill. He realized soon after that it wasn't rope at all, but instead a massive amount of
hair.
You're not quite as light as I'm used to. Go on then, climb if you must.
Prince Jack didn't hesitate, using the hair
that's
to pull
nice
himself
art.
up to safety.
Thanks for saving me with your all that hair.
Prince Jack said, trying to
It's a lot of hair.
The mare standing before him was a lovely white unicorn in a simple yet elegant pink dress.
Quite lovely.
She was surrounded by piles upon piles of purple hair.
It's my tail, actually. I don't know if I could stand it if my mane were as unmanageable.
Yeah, that would be worse.
I think I owe you an apology. My name's Prince Jack. I didn't mean to intrude like this. I guess I was overtaken by my, curiosity. It's not every day you find a lone tower like this one without some kind of a door.
Did you say Prince Jack? And here I thought fairy
That
tales
face.
were all just a bunch of stories for little fools. Ooh, but
That is an
thought they'd
amazing
be true
face.
all along. I wondered and waited, and I think a little part of me hoped, but I never actually believed a prince would come for me. After all, I mean, there's no dragon or danger per se.
I'm sorry, what now?
Oh, yes, how rude of me. I am Raripunzel, and I am a... What are those things called again?
Raripunzel said, trailing off. She trotted away from the prince momentarily to fetch a book. Using her magic, she flipped through the
that's
pages
cute.
for a moment before shouting,
Aha! Here it is. I am a damsel in a dress. Yes.
Don't you mean damsel in distress?
Oh, right, yes. And you
Well,
are a prince who has braved many
doesn't seem to be that
challenges
much
to find me.
distress.
Well, one challenge
Exactly.
on the tower, but it was still terrifying, so it counts.
Counts. Counts for what?
And now is the part where you save me and whisk me away to my happily ever after. Ooh, I'll have to pack something suitable. What does one wear to her happily ever after?
Whoa, hang on, wait a minute. What in the hell are you talking about?
Why, my fairy tale, of course. It explains it all right here in this book.
Well, typically a damsel in distress has something that is, distressing her.
Yeah.
So, What exactly is the problem here?
Oh my, where do I even begin?
Raripunzel said.
Love all this
watching
rarity
the
art.
couch nearby.
Loving
You
it.
see, Jackie.
Oh,
Of
come
course.
on. Jackie? Really? Pinkie Pie, I know this is your doing. Cut it out, consarn it.
Never! I was born of a dreadful curse. So dreadful, in fact, that my parents abandoned me on a lonely doorstep. If it weren't for Glamare taking me in as her own, I would be out on the streets, ridiculed and tormented. Not to mention the fact that my poor tail would be trampled in dirt, mud, and who knows what else.
So, why not just cut it?
I do, darling. How else do you think I make these?
Raripunzel said, pointing to the corner of the room that Prince Jack had not yet noticed. His eyes widened when he realized that the silky and glossy material incorporated into these dresses were made from her tail.
Wait, so you can sew hair?
Raripunzel sighed and got up from her fainting couch.
Come, there is something you must see.
She said, leading the prince from the room and down a flight of spiral stairs within the tower. She pushed open an old door and pointed inside for Prince Jack to see. The entire tower was some kind of magical clothing factory. Raripunzel lit her horn with magic, and the room sprung to life, each little tool working from her magic at once. Prince Jack stared in wonder and watched the process carefully. Hair would be fed into a spindle and spun into thread. The thread was then woven into what appeared to be a loom, which produced the fabric. Then the fabric would be bathed in one of the many large color dye vats, with the exception of the fabric that was to remain purple, of course. Finally, it was hung to dry and neatly folded in the corner, ready to be sewn into an ensemble.
It's quite something, isn't it?
Woo-wee, I'll say. That, definitely explains why this tower's so big. But I still don't get why you just don't cut it all off and just leave. If you don't like it here.
Rapunzel, I'm like, here, it's on your tail or whatever.
Oh my, she's here! You have to go! Wait, you can't go, it's too late. Oh, she will be
Aw,
furious
that
I
face.
the secret fabric making facility.
I'm waiting.
One moment, mother dear. You must hide.
Where? In here?
Good heavens, no! She'll find you for sure. Quickly, my bedroom is the only safe place.
Raripunzel said, racing back up the tower steps with Prince Jack following close behind.
I don't understand what could be taking so long.
Raripunzel quickly emptied out her wardrobe to make room for Prince Jack. He slipped inside and shut the door while she raced towards the window. As quickly and gently as possible, Raripunzel threw down her tresses and held the end with her magic so that it didn't pull at her uncomfortably.
Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would Raripunzel throw down her dresses?
Tresses, not dresses.
Yeah.
It's just another way of saying hair, or in this case, her tail.
Are you sure? 'Cause that just sounds like a pun to me. Ooh, or maybe a good rhyme. She makes dresses with her tresses too, and tresses, but the tresses make excesses of hairy little messes as the story progresses, and they all become dresses. They're only successes that glamour possesses.
Anything to burst into a rap song. Huh, Pinkie?
You know
Why?
All right, you can, pull now.
Using her magic, Raripunzel pulled her tail slowly back inside the tower, along with the exasperated mare. Prince Jack could catch a glimpse of Raripunzel's mother through a small opening between the wardrobe doors. He was surprised to see the Earth Pony with the soft pink coat and the light purple mane wearing something so simple in contrast to the over-the-top designs that his sister often wore. She had a loose-fitting red dress that ran the length of her body with no accents besides the cloth belt and a gold buckle at her waist.
Hello, Mother. How are you today?
Enough of the small talk, okay? I have places to be and orders you need to fill.
Glamare said, setting down a scroll of orders beside Raripunzel's sewing machine.
The princess invited me to dine with her tonight, so I'll have to keep this short.
You're not staying for dinner?
You know, I would spend every waking moment with you if I could.
Through a small slit in the wardrobe doors, Prince Jack could see that a magical change was taking place. Raripunzel's tail was growing.
It's just that I'm in such high demand for my work these days. Okay? I can't help that the pony masses adore me. Make sure to follow my instructions to the letter, Raripunzel. The princess is a very demanding mare. She'll want something new, fabulous, and expensive.
Yes, Mother.
There's a good filly. I should probably go. I don't want to keep the prince and princess waiting. Oh, Did I mention the prince came to see me too? Those royals really can't get enough of me. He probably wants to, I don't know, go out or something after this.
Yeah.
Rapunzel's tail continued growing and growing.
I'll see you tomorrow with those new dresses, okay?
Glanmare said, already descending from the tower on Raripunzel's tail.
Of course. Goodbye, Mother.
Raripunzel said, waving her hoof as her mother disappeared back through the secret entrance.
No pony told me I wanted to date an old ugly mare like her. So, how often does your tail grow like that?
Oh, all the time, I suppose.
Really? 'Cause it wasn't growing earlier when it was just us talking. But when your ma showed up, it must have grown at least another 3 feet. What exactly is this curse of yours, Punzel?
It's Raripunzel, darling.
Yeah, and it's Jack. But that really doesn't matter, does it? Pinkie rule applies.
You're delightfully crazy sometimes, Jackie, but to answer your question, I'm not sure. Mother never told me what the curse was, only that I had one. She also told me never to let another pony in here, to guard her secret, of course. Mother says my fabric is the talk of the town, even after all these years. If some pony were to discover this tower, or me, Mother's fashion line would be ruined.
But if you stay cooped up in this tower for the rest of your life, how will you ever get to do the things you want to do? Design the dresses that you want to make. Why don't you come away with me, Raripunzel? Cut your tail and your ties with this life. I know you only just met me, but we're working with fairy tale logic here.
Oh, I knew
Good
it!
point.
You are my prince. I just need one teensy moment to pack.
Raripunzel said, joyously trotting around the room and gathering a series of designer luggage pieces.
Rare? I think the point of a daring escape is to be subtle.
Oh, of course it is. It's just a few minor essentials.
Why don't I believe you? Yep, saw this coming.
Yeah,
Prince
it
Jack
was
said,
pretty obvious.
He was harnessed to a wagon filled to the brim with what Raripunzel had deemed essential and was walking with her towards the not-so-secret entrance to the outside world.
I suppose I kind of deserve it after I messed up the tail trimming and all.
Raripunzel said in response, trotting ahead of Prince Jack angrily and choosing not to look back at her lopsided stump of a tail. Prince Jack held back the vines of the entrance and let Raripunzel go ahead of him. Her sour mood melted quickly when she saw the wonders on the other side. She hadn't realized how close she was to the heart of the fashion world, and seeing it for the first time overwhelmed her with joy.
Oh,
Aw.
my! Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Just excited Rarity always gets me.
Dresses. Oh, how lovely it looks on her. She clearly knows how to complement her colors. And look at those little falls. Oh, so fashionable, so adorable. How could I have never known such wonders? Why, there must be dozens of little shops here. I wonder how many other ponies' designs there will be.
Raripunzel exclaimed. In her excitement, she trotted away from Prince Jack, yearning to see more.
Hang on! Raripunzel! Wait!
Prince Jack called out to her, but found he could not follow with the weight of the wagon slowing him down. When he caught a glimpse of Raripunzel disappearing into a crowd of ponies, he unharnessed himself and raced after her.
There you are!
Princess Orchard Blossom shouted above the commotion. She forced her way through the crowd of
Looks
ponies
like we
to
got
get to her
Derpy as
brother.
well.
As soon as he was within reach, she scooped him up in her hooves and carried him in the direction of Glamare's boutique.
You are very late for your fitting. You do realize the fashion show is this evening, yes? There will barely be enough time to tailor your ensemble.
Wait! There's some pony I have to find first!
Oh, quit your thrashing, Jackie. It's most unbecoming.
Why does every pony keep talking like Rarity in this here story? Let me go! Ah!
Prince Jack said, as he was forcibly pulled into the boutique by a team of ponies who had been awaiting his arrival.
Raripunzel! Raripunzel! Rarity!
Jackie?
Raripunzel said, turning her head when she heard her name. To her dismay, her prince had vanished. She scanned the crowds in a panic, finding only her abandoned luggage and the unharnessed wagon.
Jackie, you can't abandon me. Jackie, where are you? This is very unprincely.
A new voice cried. Raripunzel
Okay,
turned to see a
photo
striking,
finish.
fashionable light blue earth pony
Why not?
atop a platform, carried by an entourage of ponies all wearing cohesive colors and designs. Her gown was just as over-the-top as Princess Orchard Blossom's, and Raripunzel recognized it immediately as a custom design she had made. Giant puffed-out black and white sleeves held together with pink ties, A huge pink collar with metal extensions, and a giant puffy white skirt combined to make the most bizarre outfit Raripunzel had ever sewn together. It looked as bizarre on the pony, and she instantly regretted the design choices her mother had made.
So inspirational.
That is
Such
pretty
a
strange
bold
looking.
decision.
But it fits
Pony
her.
said, circling Raripunzel like she were a spectacle.
Huh?
Raripunzel said, wishing this pony knew the concept of personal space.
Your tail. It speaks to me. It says, I don't care what other ponies think of me. It's so uneven, so short. No other pony would dare to show their faces here with a tail like that. It's brilliant. This is the inspiration I have been yearning for. Yes, I must have you in the show tonight. I want to introduce you to the world. Come, we must go.
The pony barely gave Raripunzel the chance to inhale before the entourage of ponies around her had lifted her and the mysterious mayor back onto the platform. In the blink of an eye, they were off again, making the unicorn highly confused and slightly frightened.
Yeah, that
Glenmere
tends to
was
happen
one of
with
many
photo finish.
designers that were scheduled to present their new fashions at the fashion show that evening, but the buzz over the newest discovery of fashion had already taken the city by storm. No pony in the show knew the pony that inspired the trend, but each designer immediately tailored their models and even some of their designs to emulate her. The gossip backstage was that this mysterious mare would make an appearance at the show, modeling for Colton Klein. Most models protested at first, but quickly caved in when they were threatened to be replaced. This, however, did not intimidate Darling Dash. No other model held a higher opinion
Darling
of
Dash.
herself and her work than she did, but her runway strut was flawless, and her skill undeniable. For this runway show, she had her brightly
Rainbow
colored
Dash
rainbow
always
wings pulled
dresses
onto
in
the
style.
ponytail, with a bright pink bow studded with rhinestones. The first outfit she would model resembled a pink ballet gown with a sheer pink skirt and a glitter-lined top. She was the most sought-after model in the city, but working with her
As
wasn't
it should
exactly
be.
a dream come true. Glenmere was learning that the hard way.
You want to do what to my tail? Don't you dare come near me with those
This is amazing.
Darling Dash cried. She stamped her hoof and... Okay, you know what? I can't do this.
Why? What's the matter?
I know what you're doing, Pinkie.
Oh? What am I doing?
You're trying to make a point here, aren't you?
What? No! What are you talking about?
You got tired of those comments, didn't you? The ones that were angry that you cast Dash as a boy in the other Pinkie Tales.
No! That's the furthest thing from... You know what, But, geez, you know, it just... This whole analysis thing of yours can be really annoying.
Pinkie, you named her Darling Dash. I don't have to analyze anything to understand what you're doing here. It's visible from space.
I thought she was just making a G3 reference.
Now every pony's gonna be mad all over again.
Oh, Pinkie, you preciously positive pink pony. Why do you care what any pony else thinks? You just have to be yourself and tell the stories you want to tell. No pony's opinion should ever stop you from doing what you really want.
You think so?
I know so. So, maybe we should pick some pony else to be the model?
No.
No way!
No. It's perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
She
Yes.
isn't anything like this, Pinkie. It's completely out of character for her.
Not Generation 3.
There we go.
Dashi.
Clever girl.
Well, for some reason, it's the latest trend, okay? I, for one, refuse to show my fashions tonight with outdated models.
Outdated? I don't follow the trends. I set them, darling. Do you know who you're speaking to, darling? I've been Cosmare's darling cover mare for 5 consecutive darling years. I've worked with Raripunzel and Pinkie.
And it really was like this in G3. Like, every other word. Darling.
You think you're going to snip a single hair from this darling, luxurious tail? Then you are sorely mistaken, darling.
Then I'll have to go with another model to showcase my pièce de résistance.
Aww.
But this will ensure my 6th
It's adorable.
darling consecutive win, darling. Oh, all right. Fine. But be quick if you must. Darling.
Darling Dash said, turning away from the cosmetic mare holding the scissors. Each scissor cut sent a chill up her spine, and her facial expressions turned more exaggerated and distraught. Meanwhile, Raripunzel found herself in a whirlwind of fashion that both excited and frightened her. She hardly had a chance to answer simple questions, let alone learn any pony's name. Every pony seemed to be in a huge hurry, and she was rushed from place to place having her mane styled and her makeup perfected. No pony had bothered to ask her if she knew how to model, or even what she was supposed to do on the runway, but some part of her didn't mind. This was the world she had longed to be a part of, and to be so thoroughly appreciated just for being herself was more than she could have dreamed.
She'll figure it out.
Hey, darling! I have to see this for myself.
Darling Dash said, pushing ponies out of her way to confront Raripunzel.
Her? She's the one who set this trend?
She is a revolution, a breath of fresh air in the world of fashion.
Oh, Snapshot, darling! You discovered her? Why, that's simply... darling.
Darling Dash said nervously. Once the words left her mouth, however, Raripunzel felt the familiar tug of magic as her tail began to grow. All at once her cheeks were bright pink with embarrassment as she tried in vain to cover it up.
What? What is this? What is happening to your beautiful tail? Cut it off at once.
Snapshot cried, refusing to let a little magic ruin her new fashion discovery. Her assistants immediately snipped the new length off the tail and threw away the remains.
Oh, yes. There is a little something you ought to know about my tail. It has a terrible habit of...
There. All better.
Oh, yes, darling. I think it looks much better this way.
Once again, magical growth occurred and the assistants snipped it away.
What is happening to my model?
I tried to tell you, my tail is kind of cursed.
Well, isn't that a shame? I hate to think you'll miss out on your first runway, darling.
This is outrage. Your curse is interfering with fashion.
Guess that means you're not cut out for this job, huh? Don't worry, Snapshot. I love your new trend.
Darling Dash said, putting a hoof on Snapshot's back sympathetically. Raripunzel hid her face in her hooves, silently begging her tail to stop.
Raripunzel, how could you?
Mother? How did you find me?
It's kind of like hard to ignore a group of ponies walking out of here with like trash containers full of hair. Okay?
Yeah, that would...
What do you think you're doing? Do you
that would be hard to miss.
To hurt me? To ruin me?
No, Mother, of course not. I just...
You just nothing, Raripunzel. Not another word. You won't be a part of this or any fashion show. Ever.
Glamare exclaimed, taking Raripunzel by the hoof.
That won't, be a problem, will it?
She added, staring daggers at Snapshot.
I have no desire to work with a disobedient child with a cursed tail.
It looks better on me anyway, darling.
Raripunzel's heart sank when she realized how much power and influence her mother held over these ponies. She looked around, hoping to see a friendly face, some pony who would stand up for her, but all she could see were averted gazes. Her mother forced her towards a simple broom closet and pointed her hoof at the door.
I don't have, time to take you back to your tower. I have a show to do. You will stay in there, out of sight, where you can't embarrass me anymore.
Glamare said. She didn't wait for Raripunzel's response. Instead, she pushed her inside the closet and shut the door, leaving her alone in darkness with a broken spirit and a
Aww, sad Rarity.
Meanwhile, the fashion show attendees were just settling into their seats, excited for the show to begin. Princess Orchard Blossom made her grand entrance, blowing kisses to the ponies who cheered for her as she made her way to her seat.
Oh, hello, yeah. Howdy. How you
Gotta love the Orchard Blossom.
Oh, my adoring fans. How I love them so.
She was accompanied by her brother, who hoped you might find Raripunzel in the masses of audience ponies.
Are you still looking for that pony of yours?
Princess Orchard Blossom asked, adjusting her new gown as she settled into her seat.
She could be anywhere. It'd be here. I'll be right back.
Prince Jack said, standing from his seat momentarily, only for Princess Orchard Blossom to pull him back down in place.
Don't be rude, dear brother. The show is about to begin. If your mare friend is in the audience, then you can find her after it's over.
Prince Jack grumbled under his breath and crossed his hooves defiantly. The lights dimmed and the excited chatter of the crowd ponies died down. A fashion pony Prince Jack had never seen walked onto the stage and announced the lineup for the evening show. Soon after, the model ponies began their strut down the runway. Prince Jack was restless, fidgeting in his seat trying to get a better look at the ponies around him. He only paused once when a terrifyingly familiar face emerged from behind the curtain. squint,
I love it.
smiling brightly as she struck confidently down the runway.
Is that? That can't be. Rainbow Dash? Why? Sweet Celestia, why?
She's a girl.
All right then. Point well made, Pinkie. I'll give you that.
Rainbows to you, Princess Orchard Blossom. Oh, and to you,
Oh.
Prince Jack.
Ooh, that's just too disturbing. Pinkie, I can't unsee that.
Me either.
Disturbing?
So
No.
much regret.
That's awesome.
Despite his attempts, Prince Jack was unable to find Raripunzel in the crowd. The fashion show dragged on for 2 hours.
Nice
with
dress.
Many disturbing appearances from Darling Dash in various outfits, each more scarring than the last. After the last model in each collection had completed her sashay down the catwalk, the designer ponies took a moment on stage to thank the crowd for their support and talk about their line. Most were egotistical ponies with an inflated worldview of their fashion, but no one could top the bravado of Glamour.
Thank you, my little ponies. Thank you. Once again, my unique fabric and design steal the show. It's like so hard being the sole creator of such an enormous fashion empire. But there's nothing I love to do more than make other ponies happy.
Prince Jack furrowed his brow and squinted his eyes. Had she just said that she was the sole creator? He knew for a fact that Raripunzel
Yeah,
was the one for
yeah.
designing gowns, not Glamour.
Fashion
Taking all the
just
credit.
speaks to me in a way other ponies can't possibly understand. I can't say for sure what my inspiration is, but these designs just come to me. It's a natural gift.
Prince Jack noticed something from the corner of his eye. It was a little tuft of purple hair growing from under the curtain behind Glamour. He gasped and bolted from his seat towards it, despite the glares from his sister. Backstage, the other pony models and designers were baffled by the mass amounts of purple hair that had grown in every direction. It was hanging from the ceiling, tangled in
I like
clothing,
Derpy's outfit.
bunched up in corners of the room, and growing around the hooves of the frightened fashion ponies. Prince Jack soon found the source of the growth coming out from under a small closet door. When he approached, he could hear soft sobs coming from within.
Raripunzel, is that you?
He asked, jiggling the handle of the door, but was unable to open it.
Jackie? I'm stuck. It's my tail. It's everywhere, Jackie. It won't stop.
Stand back.
Prince Jack said, rearing up on his front hooves and bucking the door. He could hear the wood of the door splintering, so it bucked it again and again until finally it fell apart into wooden shards. Raripunzel tumbled out along with several more feet of tail.
Rare, are you all right?
I thought you'd left me. I thought Mother was right, that no pony would ever love or accept me because of this terrible, terrible curse.
Why, now that's just silly, Raripunzel. A curse like that can't define you. Why, you're kind, creative, hard-working, and just an all-around rarity.
Aww. But Jackie, what about my tail? It won't stop growing now. How will we ever get out of here?
Maybe it's your mother. I swear, every time that mare opens her mouth, it's like your tail knows it.
He trailed off when he realized that this was more than a comical observation, but an actual pattern.
Sweet Celestia, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Prince Jack said with a mixture of annoyance and happiness. He took Raripunzel's hoof in his own and led her out of the closet and directly on stage. Prince Jack stamped his hoof down to get Glamour's attention and interrupt her endless prattling.
That's enough! Every word out of your mouth is a lie! This is the mare responsible for these dresses. She's the one working herself to the bone just to make you look good.
Glamour opened her mouth to protest, but couldn't find the words.
I was with Raripunzel before you showed up, and not once did her tail grow. Because unlike you, I'm honest. It grows when she hears a lie, doesn't it? When you start telling your ridiculous stories and your tall tales. Really? Really, Pinkie Pie? Why does everything have to be a pun with you?
Mother, is this true?
No,
Nothing
of
wrong with a
course
good
not.
pun.
I can't control your curse any more than you can.
Glamour said defensively, while Raripunzel's tail grew.
And what exactly does that prove? That the curse doesn't work with you. That's all.
All right then. Some pony, any pony, tell the truth.
Prince Jack demanded, turning to the crowd for help. The ponies in the crowd murmured to themselves, too frightened to speak up, except for Princess Orchard Blossom. She stood up and bellowed,
I am a stallion.
The
Oh.
crowd gasped in surprise, but Raripunzel's tail didn't grow.
Tell a lie.
Darling Dash is the best darn model pony I've ever seen in all my days.
Orchard Blossom said.
But that is the
As
truth.
predicted, Raripunzel's tail grew. The crowd spoke out in shock, turning their attention to Glamare and booing.
I did everything for you. I raised you. I took you in as my own, and this is how you repay me?
You never loved me. You used me. But Prince Jack loves me. He was the only pony who ever treated me like I was worth something. He encourages me to be who I want to be, not what you want me to be. I'm free of you, Mother, and I'm happy. I'm finally happy.
As she spoke the words, her curse was finally lifted. It was all thanks to Prince Jack's honesty and the honest love he had for her. The pony crowd watched in awe as Raripunzel's magical tail receded, leaving only a normal pony-length tail. However, when the curse was lifted, it took with it all of the magic that it had caused, including the already finished designs that Glamare had sold over the years.
So,
the crowd of ponies
lots of naked
stood in
ponies.
shock when the clothing they wore disintegrated from their bodies. Only Raripunzel's gown remained, as she wasn't allowed to waste her own special fabric when making clothing for herself.
No, no, no! My fashions, my clothing line. I'm ruined. Ruined!
Yeah.
Glamare shouted, bolting from the room.
Well, guess you're the last damsel in a dress, huh?
In a dress, perhaps, but in distress, no more.
No, don't look at me. I'm so exposed.
Orchard
Wow.
Blossom cried, running from the fashion show along with several other naked ponies.
Why is every pony freaking out? Seriously? We normally don't wear clothes.
Prince Jack said bitterly. Raripunzel rolled her eyes, knowing she couldn't possibly explain fashion to Prince Jack, no matter how hard she tried. Glamare fled from the city that night and was never to be seen again. Raripunzel was free and finally able to express herself and her talents and actually be appreciated for them. She took over her evil mother's business and proved to be far more talented and successful when she could work with proper fabrics. She had all the family she could ask for with Prince Jack and Orchard Blossom. The kingdom prospered and the Rarijack OTP lived on.
No.
And
No
wasn't
OTP.
that a sweet story, Poundin' Pumpkin? And who can argue with Rarijack?
Lots of people.
Except for everyone in the comment section of this video. And I love Spike. Did I tell you how much I love Spike? Because Spike is so awesome. He's such an awesome character, and I love him to pieces. So please stop leaving hate comments in the comments.
Wow. What's going to be the next one? Oh, Discord Tales 2. Well, that could be anything. Okay. So, yeah, that was fun. Not quite as absurd as the last one, but it was Rarity, and that got me really excited. I think I got really worked up over a lot of the Rarity art, and it amused me quite considerably, and made this one particularly memorable for me, even if it was Rarijack. And yes, people are going to complain about the ship. I definitely am, because yeah, it's just a way overrated ship. I don't think anyone should be complaining about Dash getting cast in male roles, though. I mean, her being cast as like a princess sometimes would be cool, but it's more important that she's cast in a role that fits her. That's the thing, and I think that's the point that Magpiepony / Pinkie Pie is trying to make here. And yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah. At the same time, I think Darling Dash is amazing. I don't get the sense that I'm supposed to, but I'm just thoroughly amused to no end by the whole G3 Rainbow Dash thing, and I think even in the one G3 thing that I reacted to, I just cracked up laughing at pretty much everything that Rainbow Dash there said, just because it is exactly like that. Every other word is darling, and it's just so ridiculous and so terrible that it's amazing. And yeah, I just love it. And giving her an actual voice that sounds like Rainbow Dash, G4 Rainbow Dash, just makes it better. That just makes it even more amusing than it would be otherwise if they were just going straight G3 Rainbow Dash. That was the most fun part for me, even more than the rarity art and everything. Just the character of Darling Dash just amused me, like, to no end. And it was great. But there was a lot of other good stuff here. Orchard Blossom, always a fun thing to have. Photo finish got in there. Surrey, interesting choice for the villain. I don't know if the Surrey voice was quite perfect, but it was close enough, and I just like seeing that character. I really do wish that we got more Surrey in the actual show, because I just love her voice and the little affectations, the okay, it's great. It's just really infectious in its own way. Yeah, this was fun. This was a good one. And lots of great art, lots of just great performances. And Silverquill, got Silverquill to narrate it, and he did a really good job, I thought. He's got a good voice for it. Yeah, just on the whole, this was a really successful one. Really enjoyed it. Glad to see Rarity in the starring role for once. And yeah, looking forward to the next Discord Tales. That could be pretty cool. I like the first Discord Tales, and I'm excited to see what they do for this one. Just how Magpiepony decides to play it. And what story it is. The last one was Goldilocks, so I wonder what this one will be. Yeah, could be interesting. Anyway, hope you liked the commentary. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.